everyone. My name is Kayla Schneider, and I am our Director of Product Marketing and Enablement here at Virtuous. Most fundraising teams are usually struggling with the same problem. They're drowning in data and starving for direction on how to use that data. You've probably got some generic wealth scores that don't translate into actual ask amounts, and you're working in disconnected systems that force manual research across a number of different systems for every single meeting. And when a gift officer even has a follow-up question about that donor or that data, the answer is usually to go back again through all of the notes or start a new Google search to figure it all out. So today I want to walk you through our Virtuous Insights product, which is our predictive intelligence engine that fixes all of that. Insights takes your CRM from just a system of record to really a system of intelligence. It combines your first-party behavioral data with verified third-party wealth and real estate intelligence. It tells you who to prioritize, how much to ask, and then when to act on it. We're then going to look at our AI research agent, which takes that intelligence a step even further. Instead of just handing you a static report, it actually gives you a cited briefing you can actually use and have a conversation with. So let's dive in. Here I have Virtuous open, and I have Christopher Anderson's record. This is directly in our CRM. It's living where your team is working every single day, no additional login, no separate tool. I come in here and I just click directly on Go to Insights. Right away, I'm looking at a living 360 profile. It's not just a one-time snapshot, but our behavioral data is refreshing nightly. That wealth and real estate information is refreshing monthly. And then our models are learning every single moment in the background. At the top here, we have our overall picture of what is going on with this person. Here we have Christopher Anderson. I can see I have an overall composite score. That composite score is providing and combining these three scores. So our wealth capacity, that third party data, our connection information, which is taking that first party behavioral information, and then our likelihood opportunities is saying, will this person continue to give again? Combines all of that into one, letting me know, is Christopher a great opportunity for me to start talking to about a gift today? So it's not just kind of data, but it's data with context, allowing me to know and have confidence in where I should be moving. The next piece that I want to kind of look at is our suggested gift potential. This is where we move from just a wealth screening tool really into a strategist. There are 3 different strategies here that we can toggle between depending on how we want to cultivate this donor. So as I mentioned, Christopher is actually a really good candidate for our recurring giving opportunity. So let's start here. Our recurring gift here is going to be able to tell us what is that likelihood of a recurring gift, and if I ask that amount, what should it be? So here it's telling me I should ask that amount at $50, allowing me to understand what that is based on his giving behavior and amounts. The next ask we're looking at here is our direct response ask, and this is really what's going to be powering your campaign targeting. It's going to be able to surface medium and high likelihood of responders for any direct response campaigns that you might be running. And it gives you an anchor ask for your campaign ladder to allow you to make sure that you're not just sending everybody in your mailing or your emails or those things the same exact ask. It's actually grounded in a number that is from their actual capacity and behavior. The last potential strategy here is our single gift amount, and this is best for our major gift opportunities. So I'm going to hop over to a different record, David Carter. This is a major gift potential opportunity here. And again, it's looking at that same piece saying, what is that single gift amount that could be great? And it gives a minimum and a maximum amount for the year. It's allowing us to understand what that potential is for those larger asks at that time. As we continue to kind of look through this record here, we have that real estate information, allowing us to understand what that net worth is, but also understanding some other pieces of the pie here, some political leanings, some supported causes they might engage with, but we also have this real estate information. So what this real estate information is going to be able to do, it's going to allow us to understand the full profile of those assets. So I have that overall information, my total estimate of the full capacity of those properties, the number of properties, and also the estimated equity that sits in there as well. For each property, I have some more details that I can engage with. I have a link that I can go look and do some more research on real time, but I also have a confidence score. This confidence score is actually going to allow me to understand how much weight I can put in this to understand how close we are to that real number that we have. Most wealth tools are going to be able to give me like one net worth number. But here what we're doing is we're actually breaking down that entire portfolio so you can have a real conversation around capital gifts, legacy giving, asset-based donations, really trying to understand the right fit for where this major gift opportunity will come into play. The last piece here on this profile are our engagement insights. How engaged is this person over time with the organization? So I can come in here and see their giving potential, like where they've been giving gifts, engaging with our emails, visiting our website, volunteering or attending events. I can come in here and quickly understand what that clear behavior looks like. And I can see some more individual profile information here as well to, again, get more understanding of who David is so that when I go into a meeting, I go to make an ask, I understand that information as well. So now we're going to hop into that AI research agent that I mentioned. I've already run my report on David, so I'm just going to open it up here. Everything we've looked at so far is intelligence that insights is surfacing for you. But what this is doing is this is actually intelligence that's telling you what to do with it. So it's built for you when you're walking into a meeting. It's not just for me to use as an analyst to say, is this a good person? This is actually clearly built for fundraisers to be prepared for those conversations. And where am I pulling all this data from? I'm actually pulling it from the CRM, all of our contact notes, all of that great context that we have there, as well as all that third-party data that we were just talking about in Insights. And then we're also doing a full web scrape as well to be able to capture more information about this supporter. So everything is cited here, all synthesized in one support for a gift officer to feel prepared for their meeting. I want to walk through a couple of highlights that I like here. We have our executive summary and then our fundraiser briefing. This is going to allow me to know exactly what I need to do and what to talk about for my meetings. It's giving me that overall capacity. It's framed as that fundraiser first. It's a rounded decision, right? So what's that capacity look like? What is my philanthropic profile look like? What do I care about? What do I love? And then are there any key relationships that I should know about for me to be able to kind of get this relationship moving forward? I have that information from our Insights profile here, as well as that web scraping that I mentioned, pulling information about like LinkedIn and our employment information, education, our assets, that full contact note summary. I don't have to spend hours and hours reading notes. I have a contact summary here. And then being able to understand some strategic recommendations. It's not just data, but it's actually leading with a suggested gift ask, right? Understanding the context that matters for cultivation so that every fundraiser's next step is obvious the moment that they go through this report. And again, everything is cited. We understand where it's coming from so that we have confidence in that data. So the difference is that this report is not just something I read once and I put away. It's actually something that's built on what's happening and how I can move forward with that. And so that's where our AI chat actually comes into play as well. I don't have to just have a report that I can read. I can actually engage with this information. So here, maybe I don't know where to get started with David. I don't know how to kind of get in. I can actually ask the data, what connection can you help me to introduce my information with? So I ask the question. I can either use one of our prompts or I can type it in here. And now it's going to give me that information. It's told me it's going to be Susan. It then also gives me how to engage with Susan, what to say to Susan. And even I can continue to go back and forth and say, give me an email, help me write a call script, whatever that might be. I didn't have to rerun a report. I didn't have to start a whole new research project. I can engage with the data right here and dig in without having to leave. No other tool is necessary for me to be able to kind of work within that system. And so when we think about this, we've kind of run through like one person. How do I look at more individuals? So you can come in and run this on every single person in your database, right? Be prepared for every meeting. I can see reports that I've run. I can come in and run new reports, whatever it might be to make sure that you're ready for those meetings. These reports take minutes to create. So instead of hours preparing for a meeting, I can come in, run a report in minutes and be prepared. This research allows me to be ready to have those conversations that are going to make a difference in the relationships that you're building. Okay? The last stop that we want to talk about for insights is going to be our aggregate dashboard. So everything that I've talked about so far is that one-to-one kind of donor at a time. But for our entire database, that intelligence is the same. It works just as well at scale. So that's where this kind of aggregate database is coming into play. The first thing I want to highlight are predictive insights. These are categories that we are giving to you that allow you to know who you should be talking to and when and why. So I have some different categories here: my major donors, recurring potential donors, my advocates here, and also even people who are at risk of lapsing based on their own giving behavior. All of this information is able to be used, again, not just a system of record, but also a system of action. I want to be able to come in and do something with this data. I can grab all of the information. I can then take bulk action on them. I can actually start working with these segments on the go, allowing me to also understand, what does my overall donor file look like? What are my average scores here, my average amounts, understanding what does that profile look like for my average supporter inside of the system, and then also giving me a breakdown by life cycle, helping me understand where each person falls in their giving journey with my organization. So that's Virtuous Insights, from a single donor record all the way to your entire donor portfolio. It's data into direction and into action at any scale that you need. Reach out if you have any questions.